Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 7, text number 38. Yogeshwara Uchuhu Yogeshwara Uchuhu Preyannate anya asti amutastvai prabho Prayannate anyo asti amutastvai prabho Vishwatmani kshenna pritagya atmanaha Vishwatmani kshenna pritagya atmanaha Atapi bhaktyesha tayopadavatam Atapi bhaktyesha tayopadavatam Ananya vrittyanugrahana vatsala Ananya vrittyanugrahana vatsala Yogeshwaraha, the great mystics. Uchuhu said, Preyan, very dear, Na, not, Te, of you, Anyaha, another, Asti, there is, Amuttaha, from that, Tvayi, in you, Prabho, dear Lord, Vishwatmani, the super soul of all living entities, Ikshet, see, Na, not, pritak, different, ya, who, atmanaha, the living entities, ata api, so much more, bhaktya, with devotion, isha, O Lord, taya, with it, upadhavatam, of those who worship, ananyavritya, unfailing, anugrahana, favor, vatsala, O favorable Lord. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great mystic said, Dear Lord, persons who see you as non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul of all living entities, are certainly very, very dear to you. You are very favorable towards those who engage in devotional service, accepting you as the Lord and themselves as servants. By your mercy, you are always inclined in their favor. Purport. It is indicated in this verse that the monists and the great mystics know the Supreme Personality of Godhead as one. This oneness is not the misunderstanding that the living entity is equal in every respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The monism is based on pure knowledge as described and confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Priyo hi jnanino athyartham aham sama sacha mama priyaha. The Lord says that those who are advanced in transcendental knowledge and know the science of Krishna consciousness are very dear to Him, and He is also very dear to them. Those who are actually in perfect knowledge of the science of God know that the living entities are superior energy of the Supreme Lord. This is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter. The material energy is inferior and the living entities are superior energies. Energy and the energetic are non-different. Therefore, energies possess the same qualities as the energetic. Persons who are in full knowledge of the personality of Godhead, analyzing His different energies and knowing their own constitutional position, are certainly very, very dear to the Lord. Persons, however, who may not even be conversant with the knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but who always think of the Lord with love and faith, feeling that He is great and that they are tiny parts and parcels, ever His servitors, are even more favored by Him. The particular significance of this verse is that the Lord is addressed as Vatsala. Vatsala means always favorably disposed. The Lord's name is Bhaktavatsala. The Lord is famous as Bhaktavatsala, which means that He always favorably inclined to the devotees, whereas He is never addressed anywhere in the Vedic literature as Jnani Vatsala. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please repeat the translation. The great mystic said, Dear Lord, persons who see you as non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul of all living entities, are certainly very, very dear to you. You are very favorable toward those who engage in devotional service, accepting you as a Lord and themselves as the servants. By your mercy, you are always inclined in their favor. So now it is a time of the great mystics who are assembled there. It's their time to offer the prayers to Lord Vishnu, who is appeared before the sacrificial arena. So here, when the rishis, the great mystics, these great mystics are established in pure knowledge about the self. So, as Prabhupada explains here, even though they appear like monists, first level of self-realization is realizing one's quality, the quality of oneself as same as the quality of the Lord. So that way, that oneness is there in our scriptures, in Upanishads, everywhere, that oneness is there. Because there is oneness in quality, and it is a very important thing. Because right now, when we are conditioned in the material world, we are not in that consciousness of being in one in quality with the Lord. Because we are thinking we are this body. Asat. This is Asat substance. The soul is Satchidananda, the same quality as the Lord, which is a big realization. Means it is liberation to know that I am not a product of this material energy, but I am of the same quality as God. So, there is nothing unusual about this prayer, where and many places in the scriptures, in different places, that idea of, the devotee or the mystics or whoever it is who offer prayers to the Lord, that we are non-different from you. Doesn't mean that the identity is non-different. So it says, dear Lord, persons who see you as non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul. See, they recognize that they are the super soul, one common. We all are part and parcel of one common whole, okay, are certainly very dear to you. But they have not become Mayavadis, okay. You are very favorable towards those who are engaged in devotion service. They themselves are praying, accepting you as the Lord and themselves as the servants. So, this is here in this purport, Prabhupada is talking about a very important point, which is about the role of jnana in bhakti. He hints at that. Because whatever jnana one pursues, it has to be for bhakti. Jnana for the sake of jnana, knowledge, they are called jnanis. They are fascinated by knowledge. They are not fascinated by Krishna. Devotees are fascinated by Krishna, and they are fascinated by knowledge about Krishna. So sometimes, because generally we emphasize bhakti and don't say that don't go in this path of being a jnani, should not be misunderstood by the Vaishnavas that they don't pursue transcendental knowledge. Without transcendental knowledge, Prabhupada says that one remains simply a Kanishtadhikari. Bhakti necessarily involves being in Sattva-guna. In Sattva-guna means seeing things as they are. So there is transcendental knowledge, transcendental intelligence in a devotee. Automatically, because of clarity of his consciousness. This transcendental knowledge about Krishna, about one's own self, they rise within the heart of anybody who associates with the Lord in devotional service. So we are associating with the Lord in devotional service day and night, our whole life. So therefore, the transcendental knowledge, we should be anxious to receive this mercy of the Lord. It's not that I would always remain a mudha. So I am in the path of bhakti, I don't care, I can be a mudha. This is not our philosophy at all. Our philosophy is, we have to know Bhagavad Gita, we have to know Bhagavatam, we have to know the Krishna Tattva, we have to know the Jiva Tattva, we have to know all the different tattvas of this material world, karma, kala, all that we have to know. We have to know how the living entity is trapped in this material world, in this body, how he is trapped, how he can be liberated, how is the gross body, subtle body, how conditioning happens. All this we cannot, it's not that we chase them. We don't have to chase them, but we should be wanting to receive that knowledge. When somebody is in Tamoguna, he doesn't want all this knowledge. This is all complicated. Somebody said, Prabhu, all this soulful japa is all complicated. So I said, you have not understood what Prabhupada has given. Prabhupada himself was so proud of receiving the title Bhaktivedanta. So we should not misunderstand the role of jnana, transcendental. Otherwise, why Prabhupada wrote so many books? But no doubt, knowledge for bhakti. Knowledge has to serve bhakti. If bhakti is not the goal of knowledge, see, then what else can be the purpose of knowledge? Purpose of knowledge could be to show off, I am a knowledgeable man. That is one thing. Scientists, what is their purpose of knowledge? Knowledge is power. If I get to know the knowledge about the science, how the material energy works, I can create electricity, I can create this, I can create that, all those things. So their jnana is for power. Philosophers, again, jnana is not directed towards Krishna, too much thinking about themselves only. No doubt, if they are not envious, they have some association with Bhagavatam and all, suddenly they will realize that not only, it is not enough to know that I am Brahman. There is Parabrahman and I am a person. I am a Vyakti. That good fortune comes upon by meeting a devotee. So, all these different kinds of jnana, if we know that they are all, the goal of that jnana is different. Just like the material world also, there is love. But we say, no, this love is all Maya. Right? But doesn't mean that love is Maya. Goal is love of Godhead. So love is very valuable. Love is very foundational. Similarly, transcendental knowledge, the jnana. No, I don't want any jnana. No. I don't want the material jnana, materially motivated. That kind of jnana I do not want. I want transcendental jnana, divya jnana, hriday prakashita. Divya Jnana I want. Divya Jnana, who is Krishna? What is his name? What is his form? How does he incarnate? I need that Divya Jnana. And only when Divya Jnana is there, then one can actually perform unmotivated devotion, pure devotional service. Otherwise, one's mind will, why pure Jnana is not there? Because of the covering of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So this Rajoguna and Tamoguna will contaminate. Means the objective. There is an objective. Tamoguna means lazy. That is why he says, why all this knowledge? Laziness. That Tamoguna. Tamoguna will affect his bhakti. Rajoguna will affect the bhakti. Because he thinks, I have to do, I have to achieve, I have to do all this. This Rajoguna. Rajoguna is too much I-centered action and I-centered action. Sattva means prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasha ahankara moodatma kattaham iti manyate. One who knows that aham sarvasya prabho mayadakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Material and everything is happening by the material energy. In the material energy is moving. I am only kshetrajna. And the material energy is supervised mayadakshena. By his supervision, everything is happening. This is Sattva Guna. He does not have that sense of I achieved, I succeeded, all these kind of things. So that kind of contamination also should not be there in bhakti. So that is called Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti, and not pure bhakti. So we have to understand this, very important. One will remain in Tamoguna if one does not understand, read Prabhupada's books and try to understand. As we perform devotion service, as we get purified, clarity which you cannot understand today will come to you tomorrow. So there is something to be chased. Clarity, understanding. Something very important that Prabhupada says. Anyway, here, before I go into this reading, persons, however, who may not even be conversant in knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but always think of the Lord with love and faith, feeling that He is great and that they are His part and parcel, ever His servitors, are even more favored by Him. See, among the knowledge, the most fundamental knowledge is self-knowledge. So therefore, Prabhupada is saying here, if you have self-knowledge that Krishna is great, I am His part and parcel, that is the essence of all knowledge. But that knowledge is required. He may not know too much details about, as he said, about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, His energies and this and that, all those. But he knows it's inconceivable. His energies are all inconceivable for me. I am His part and parcel. This is a fundamental, basic knowledge. So that one is completely focused in active devotion service, knowing that he is part and parcel and Krishna is his source. I belong to Krishna. Krishna owns everything. Krishna, simple knowledge. So many people are owning so many things. But devotee understand, no, everything is belonging to Krishna. I also belong to Krishna. If something belongs to Krishna, if something belongs to somebody, he should enjoy that. So everybody is meant for his enjoyment. A simple, basic self-knowledge is very important of all the jnanas. And that is why Vaunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Ma Prabhadyante. What is that? After so many janmas of being jnani of so many other things, when he gets the jnana of being the servant of the Lord, that time, he surrenders to the Lord. Real surrender happens. Surrender really cannot happen without this basic knowledge. If one does not understand, if one does not feel that I am his, you cannot surrender. Not possible to surrender. I belong to him, he is my owner, I am his. Then only one can surrender. And to such a devotee, specifically, as Prabhupada says, Bhakta Vatsala, the Lord is specially favored, he is specially inclined towards that devotee, such a devotee. So I'll read some things about Jnana. Prabhupada says, so to become Krishna conscious, fully devoted, anya bilashita shunyam, it is very, very difficult, highest position. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan. The jnana after jnana, there is the stage of bhakti. Without jnana, bhakti is kanishta adhikari. With jnana, he is uttama adhikari. These are described by Chaitanya in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the idea is that if one is advanced devotee, then all the good qualities will be visible in him. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. He has no other desire. Akinchana bhakti. If he has got any other desire to fulfill, then it is mixed. It is not Shuddha bhakti. It is Vaidhi bhakti, Karma mishra bhakti, Jnana mishra bhakti, Yoga mishra bhakti. Bhakti must be there. But when karma, jnana, yoga, everything is without contamination, simply bhakti, jnana karmadi anavritam, that stage is anukulyena krishnanushilanam, simply to satisfy. The sannyasis at 7 Banerjee Lane were impressed by the scope of Abhay's thought and intentions. As it was customary to award a title to an especially worthy Vaishnava according to his qualities, Bhakti Saranga Goswami wanted to confer upon Abhay the title Bhakti Siddhanta. Sridhar Maharaj, however, thought it inappropriate to give Abhay the same title as the spiritual master, and he asked that Abhay's title be changed to Bhaktivedanta. Bhakti means devotion and Vedanta means end of knowledge. Abhay was grateful. The title combined the devotion of religion with the scholarship of most rigorous philosophy, as passed down by the scholarly followers of Lord Chaitanya. He appreciated the sincere gesture of his god brothers and accepted the title as a further commitment to his spiritual path of preaching Krishna consciousness. One must know very well that Vaishnava philosophers are not sentimentalists or cheap devotees like Sahajiyas. This also happens. If one does not base his bhakti on Shastra, one does not read the Shastra, does not try to understand the transcendental knowledge and just be sentimental, they are sure to become Sahajiyas. They slip into Sahajiyas. Sentiments without support of Tattva. A professor told Srila Prabhupada that he regarded himself more as a Jnani than a Bhakta, although he was attracted to Bhakti. Prabhupada replied, saying that an impersonalist philosopher is not actually a Jnani but a learner. Only when one realizes Krishna, as described in the 29th verse of the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, does one become a Jnani. The real meaning of knowledge is the ability not for grammatical or sophisticated expression, but to actually know the truth. To illustrate this, Prabhupada said that once in India, a monkey had come to a man's office and had thrown papers everywhere and then left. When the English supervisor asked the clerk what had happened, the clerk could not speak sufficient English to explain how the monkey had caused chaos. He began to imitate the monkey, jumping and leaping around, making monkey noises and throwing the papers in the air. In this way, the supervisor quickly understood what had happened. Srila Prabhupada said, somehow or the other, we have to communicate Krishna consciousness and the important message will be understood. Prabhupada, without becoming Jnani, nobody can become Bhakta. Without knowledge, if one has become Bhakta, he is sentimentalist. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, find out this verse. Samha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Brahma bhuta prasannatmana sochati na kankshati. So without becoming fully in knowledge, nobody can become devotee. He asks, what about the opposite? People becoming devotees without knowing anything? He is asking. Prabhupada, no, devotee cannot be without knowing. A devotee means he knows everything. Kasmin tu bhagavo vijñāte sarvam idam vijñātam bhavati. This is Vedic injunction. One who knows the absolute, he knows everything. Devotee. Srila Prabhupada, that verse, does that mean that one who is a neophyte? Prabhupada, neophyte is neophyte. Why do you bring him to become a devotee? A devotee is different. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. He is not a mathematician. He is learning. See how pinpointed Prabhupada is. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is not a mathematician. Mathematician is somebody who is advanced, who is dealing with so many things, equations and all that. He may be knowing 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Similarly, if somebody does not have transcendental knowledge, Prabhupada says, no, he is neophyte devotee, is not a devotee. Neophyte is neophyte. Why you bring him to become a devotee? A devotee is different. What beautiful example Prabhupada gives, mathematician. There is hope one day he'll become a big mathematician. There are 3 stages, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. So when you speak of devotee, that is Uttamadhikari. So he knows everything. Rather the so-called Jnani, he does not know. Because he does not know Krishna. The so-called Jnani, he does not know what Supreme Personality of Godhead is. He is impersonalist. Therefore he is still unaware of the absolute truth. Therefore he is not Jnani. His Jnana, his knowledge is lacking. Now this is very important. See, Prabhupada doesn't even give the status of a Jnani to these people. Because Krishna defines Jnana differently. So actual understanding of Jnana is different. Krishna one who knows Krishna, he is a Jnani. If he doesn't know Krishna, if he is an impersonalist, he is not a Jnani. In common parlance, we may say he is a Jnani. But according to Krishna's thing, Krishna's definition, Krishna doesn't see me as a Jnani. Like that, okay, you be like that. Sahasra, many lives you be. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan. Like that kind of Jnani you be. But the real Jnani is one who knows who is Krishna. Absolute truth. Therefore in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. If one Jnani is impersonalist, he is not Jnani. He is unaware of the absolute, he does not know. Therefore, it will take many births to come to the understanding of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is not Jnani. He is claiming to be Jnani. Such Jnani will take many hundreds of births to come to the position of real Jnani. Bahunam janmanamante. So-called Jnani, after many births, when he understands Krishna and surrenders to him, then he is Jnani. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. That kind of Jnani is very rare. The impersonalist means Ajnani. Yes, because he does not know Krishna, this person. There is another verse in Bhagavatam, Aruhya krichena param padam tataha patanti adaha. Aruhya krichena. By the Jnanic process, he is undergoing austerities and penances. One comes to the platform of Parampadam, monism, or platform of oneness, but he has no shelter. Ye patanti adaha, again comes to the material. Just like so many sannyasis in India, they are very learned, they have come to the platform of Brahman realization, but after some time they come to the material field for political work, social work. They give up this world, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. If Jagat is Mithya, is false, why does he come for social work? Just like these people going to the moon planet, but because they do not get any shelter, they take some sand and come back again. So what is the use of going there and spending so much money and come back with little sand and satisfied? Now we have studied. He's comparing them to the Jnanis, impersonalists. Because they have no shelter. So the Jnanis, they have no shelter, yes. They may go very high in sky, but because they have no shelter, they come back again. Puna mushrik bhava, again become a mouse. So that is not Jnani, that is Ajnani. Jnani is described here, Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Brahma Bhuta Jnani, Aham Brahmasmi, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. I have nothing to do with material world. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na sochati na kankshati. There is no lamentation, there is no hankering. When he has attained that stage, Brahma Bhuta stage, then he is in the entrance in bhakti. Otherwise, he is a neophyte. So, very clearly Prabhupada has given the meaning of, these mystics are talking here, glorifying, but probably these mystics are getting the first chance to see the transcendental beauty of Vishnu and get the benefit of becoming personalist from monist to personalist. They may be all Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis are also transcendentalists. The Brahmavadis are different, Mayavadis are different. Brahmavadis, okay, I am not this body, as a Jnani is thinking, I am spirit, I am spirit. Mayavadis, they reach one level and then they think there is no me, you, there is no God, there is only I, Brahman, Nirguna Brahman. There is no Para-Brahman. When they say that, then they become Mayavadis. So many people, simply by common knowledge, they know, I can't be this matter, I am spirit. They are ordinary, simple, and if they progress continuously on meditation, as a seeker of truth, they will see that, okay, I am spirit, but they do not know super spirit. Any questions? Yes.
Here, Prabhupada is mentioning about if we have jnana, knowledge, then they are Uttamadhikaris. Without knowledge, then they are Kanishtadhikaris.
Krishna conscious knowledge.
Krishna conscious knowledge. So now, within this Krishna conscious process, we also talk of different mellows of associating with the Lord. And as we progress further towards the highest Madhurya Rasa, we say the Jnana element is deteriorating, is coming down for the pleasure of the Lord. So my question is... Not
deteriorating, comes down.
Achha.
So it doesn't deteriorate. Jnana doesn't deteriorate.
So Jnana is there.
Of course Jnana is there. Jnana is there, but in that case, in the case of Krishna, Gopis, the Jnana is selectively covered by Yogamaya to enhance the rasa.
So now if someone asks...
Like Nanda Maharaj does not think his son is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's not Ajnana. There another energy of the Lord is working in order to make him forget and make him intensely think he is my son. So that Krishna gets the rasa of, being fathered by Nanda Maharaj. So there, there looks like there is something he doesn't know.
Correct.
No, that is selective covering. This selective covering of knowledge to enhance rasa is an activity of Yogamaya.
So can someone ask this question that, okay, I will accept that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, but, just like Prabhupada said here, if you are not having sufficient knowledge of this, why Krishna is Supreme, then you are Kanishtadhikari. But somebody is saying, I will 100% accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but I will not, because I am anyway established in the truth then. That is what you want to establish, the truth that Krishna is the Supreme Person. I'll accept that. So, but then why should I study all these scriptures when I have already attained what is the end of the scriptural conclusion?
No, end of the scriptural conclusion is not only that. End of the scriptural conclusion is who you are. You establish Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who are you? Who are you? I am the body.
So that
No.
needs...
Okay, I am servant of Krishna. That is it. In the beginning you say, I am servant of Krishna. You are thinking you are the body. That means, and this body is servant of Krishna. That is starting point. But the body is not the eternal servant of Krishna. Soul is the eternal servant of Krishna. So unless that covering goes away, that means unless our ignorance of, that's what self-knowledge means, knowledge about myself and God. Then that Prabhupada is saying, that's great. That is great. But he should not welcome other knowledge. He should not chase that knowledge. Knowledge is sacred. Knowledge about Krishna is always sacred. Suppose, let us say Krishna is Supreme Personality, you accepted, established truth in your mind. Nobody need to establish that for Krishna. In your mind you have established Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is the next step? How is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Is it not? You want to glorify. Is not that contention, somebody is fighting, accept me, accept me, accept me, accept, okay, everything is over. Not that. Accept, that who you are and your Atma's rasa is to, Shanta rasa begins like, is to appreciate what are his qualities, who is he, what are his energies, he is the creator, everything, he is the enjoyer. That Shanta rasa begins, bhakti begins there. So otherwise what will you do? So if you understand Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead, start serving. Even in bodily concept of life. Slowly ignorance will go and devotion service will move from following Guru's instruction by association, chanting, everything. It will move. Provided one does not, be allergic to knowledge. The tamoguna should go, that allergy to knowledge should go. Knowledge should not be for any other purpose other than to glorify. Without knowledge, how can you glorify Krishna? Krishna's glories and all you have to know. You have to go on repeating it, means you have to know. So knowledge is required. And Krishna likes to hear his glories.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In Bhagavatam, Prabhupada uses the word regulated knowledge.
Regulated?
Knowledge. The sentence is like this. Regulated knowledge involves a gradual raising of the living entity to the spiritual platform.
Yes. So what is the difficult?
How do we understand this word?
Suppose every day 1 hour you are reading. That is regulated knowledge. We have to read Prabhupada's books. That means you are after knowledge. Regulated knowledge. Not any other knowledge. Newspaper knowledge, physics, chemistry, no. For bhakti yogis, regulated knowledge means the knowledge that is Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, plus that also, just like regulated bhakti, you should get up every day, you should attend Mangalarati, all these things. In that same way, we should see that there is study of transcendental knowledge of the scriptures. Every day you spend time, you read. If you don't read Prabhupada's books, you cannot advance. You cannot chant nicely also. Your chanting needs support of reading, reading needs support of chanting. Same way, devotion, deity worship, you cannot do without reading. You need support of reading for deity worship. And then you need support of deity worship for grasping what you read.
Okay. I just wanted to, on a lighter side, I want to share one thing. When you say the scientist perspective of looking at knowledge is power, I could connect my dots in my college days. The college which I study is Government Science College, it's science college. As soon as you enter the college, the very big words they have written, knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
So now I could recollect. I could connect the dots now.
Yes. Thereafter knowledge for power. This I read this also. This is in Rajayanagar. One stone building is there in Rajayanagar. When I was a kid, every day I used to go to school. Every day I used to read, knowledge is power, knowledge is power, knowledge is power. Huh? All schools have now. So they chase power for knowledge. Knowledge is power for us, knowledge for Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu found an illiterate Brahmana in Sri Rangam. So he accepted him as the knower of the everything. So because he understood that rasa, all those, he saw that picture of Krishna relating with Arjuna. So how do you understand this from this perspective?
See,
so
what that devotee lacked was scholarliness, not knowledge. Please differentiate scholarliness, memorizing verses, quoting verses, knowing Bhagavatam this end to that end. That is not, the knowledge is understanding that. That is jnana. We have to understand that jnana. Knowledge is not information. When knowledge is felt, then it becomes vijnana. When knowledge mixes with feeling, feeling means reality, realization. And then that becomes vijnana. So that's also another, I missed out this point. No devotee never bewildered by somebody told, quoting 100 slokas from Bhagavatam and all. They'll say, okay, what you are doing rest of your life? Morning to evening, what are you doing? You tell me. Now on the stage you have quoted all this. Now what you are doing after that? From morning to night, what are you doing? You tell me, then I will connect. What motivation you have, what is your life, why are you living, all that let me find out. And then I can say, oh, your memory is rightly utilized for the real thing. We are not against memory, we are not against memorizing, but just by memorizing we are not going to get bewildered. So suppose you get a chance, whether I should memorize now or whether I should understand. First understand. This is primary. Then memorize. What is the use of memorizing without understanding? What for? Show off. First understand. More important, because understanding will stay with you. Memory and quoting is for showing off. That will not stay with you. But your understanding of that knowledge, that will stay with you. Stay with the soul. Grandharaj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.